Before they became WWE Superstars dominating the ring, some wrestlers once wore military uniforms, stood in the line of fire, and fought for their country. These men weren't just titans of sports entertainment. They were soldiers, warriors who defended freedom with blood, sweat, and unwavering loyalty. Today, wrestling sphere honors those wrestlers who served in the military. Men who turned their warrior spirit into legends, both on the battlefield and in the ring. Jesse Ventura. Before stepping into the wrestling ring and becoming one of the most distinctive personalities in WWE history, Jesse Ventura was a real-life soldier, serving in the United States Navy during one of the most turbulent periods of the 20th century. Born in 1951 as James Georgianos, Ventura joined the military in 1969, right at the height of the Vietnam War. He wasn't just an ordinary serviceman. Ventura endured intense training to become a member of the Navy SEALs, the most elite unit in the U.S. Navy. Anyone familiar with the SEALs knows this isn't just any group. They are selected through grueling processes, trained under extreme conditions, and reserved only for those with ironclad determination and exceptional physical strength. Ventura served as a SEAL from 1969 to 1975, a period he later described as one that forged his willpower and grit. After completing his service, Ventura returned to civilian life and wasted no time transforming himself from soldier to sports entertainment icon. With his muscular build, signature blonde hair, gravelly commanding voice, and rebellious attitude, Jesse Ventura quickly made waves in the wrestling world. He wasn't just a physically imposing figure, he was also a master on the mic, captivating audiences and building a persona that was unforgettable. But Ventura didn't stop there. In a move that shocked the entire nation, he crossed over into politics. Armed with his fame and raw, no-nonsense communication style, he was elected governor of Minnesota in 1998, a stunning and unprecedented victory for a former professional wrestler. In office, he continued to showcase his independent mindset, sharp thinking, and deep sense of public service, traits that had been instilled in him during his military days. From cunning Navy SEAL to wrestling star to political leader, Jesse Ventura's life stands as a powerful testament to the strength of will, discipline, and relentless drive. He's not just a part of WWE history. He's a symbol of an American generation who wore the uniform with pride, stood ready to sacrifice, and later gave back in new and meaningful ways. Jesse Ventura is not a man who lives in the past. He builds on it, using it as a foundation to shape the present and inspire the future. And no matter what role he plays, SEAL, wrestler, commentator, actor, or politician, he brings the same unmistakable energy. Bold, fearless, and never backing down. Lacey Evans. In the vibrant world of WWE, where superstars are often known for their flashy looks and dramatic personas, Lacey Evans stands out as a symbol of discipline and extraordinary resilience. Before ever stepping into the ring, Lacey wasn't a model or a typical athlete. She was a United States Marine, having served in one of the most elite military branches in the country. Still very young when she enlisted, Lacey was shaped by the harsh and demanding environment of the Marine Corps. During her 5 years of service, she didn't just fulfill her duties as a military police officer, tasked with maintaining internal security. She also rose to become a special operations instructor, a role reserved only for those with exceptional physical and mental fortitude. Trained to enforce strict discipline, respond under pressure, and lead others through high-stress scenarios, Lacey gained a solid foundation in leadership, resilience, and adaptability. Those experiences didn't just prepare her for life. They helped mold the confident, no-nonsense presence WWE fans immediately recognize when she steps out from behind the curtain with sharp eyes and a commanding stride. After her military service, Lacey didn't choose the easy path. Instead, she pursued a career in professional wrestling. Transitioning from Marine to WWE Superstar was no simple feat, but with a never-quit mindset forged in the military, she carved out her name through sheer effort and unwavering determination. With a performance style rooted in military precision, serious, tough, and relentless, Lacey Evans has become one of the few female WWE stars who commands both respect and admiration. She's not just the lady, as her ring persona suggests. She's a real-life warrior, both on the battlefield and in the squared circle. Lacey Evans is living proof that women not only belong in the military, they can thrive, excel, and inspire. Her career is more than a personal journey. It's a powerful symbol of courage, strength, and endurance among modern women. Road Dogg. Before becoming an essential part of the legendary New Age Outlaws and a familiar face during WWE's Attitude Era, Brian James, better known to fans as Road Dogg, once wore a military uniform and served his country as a United States Marine. In 1987, while many young people were still figuring out their paths, Brian chose the discipline of military life. He enlisted in the Marine Corps, widely regarded as one of the most demanding branches of the U.S. Armed Forces. Over the next 6 years, he not only completed every assignment given to him but was also deployed to the Middle East during a tense global period, most notably as part of Operation Desert Storm, one of America's largest military campaigns of the early 1990s. Brian served as a machine gunner, a position that requires accuracy, absolute calm under pressure, and the ability to engage in combat under extreme conditions. First-hand experience in active war zones helped instill in him unshakable discipline, mental toughness, and endurance, qualities that would later become the backbone of his WWE success. After being honorably discharged in 1993, Brian returned home with more than just battlefield experience. He carried the heart of a warrior. Turning to professional wrestling, a path his family had long been part of, his father being Bullet Bob Armstrong, a wrestling legend, Brian brought a soldier's mindset into the ring. From a Marine facing danger in the desert to a fan-favorite entertainer in WWE, Road Dogg built a legacy through charisma, humor, and unmatched mic skills. But behind the entertainment persona is a man who once fought for his country. A reminder that the spirit of a soldier doesn't fade, whether in combat or in the spotlight of professional wrestling. Steve Cutler. Before making a name for himself as Steve Cutler in the world of professional wrestling, Steve Kuprick was a real-life soldier who served in the United States Marine Corps. He didn't just wear the uniform as a duty. He saw combat firsthand in one of the world's most volatile conflict zones, Afghanistan. Steve enlisted in the Marines and spent 4 intense years in active service. As part of the forces deployed to the Middle East, he endured high-stress conditions, faced life-threatening dangers, and operated in an environment where discipline, mental toughness, and constant vigilance were essential for survival. These experiences didn't just strengthen him physically. They forged a mental resilience that later became one of his biggest assets inside the WWE ring. After leaving the military, Steve Kuprick didn't opt for a safe or simple path. Instead, he transitioned into professional wrestling, another demanding arena where his battlefield-honed mindset would serve him well. With a powerful physique, a no-quit attitude, and a hard-hitting in-ring style, Steve Cutler quickly stood out to audiences. He wasn't a fabricated character with a manufactured backstory. He was the real deal, a warrior who had been in the trenches, lived through the chaos of war, and now brought that same intensity to every match he fought. Steve Cutler embodies the spirit of a soldier, both in and out of the ring. Corporal Kchner. During WWE's golden era in the 1980s, when characters were often larger than life and theatrically exaggerated, few could claim a background as authentic as Corporal Kchner. Behind the persona was Michael Kchner, a man who had actually served in the United States Army. His military roots weren't just part of the act, they were the very foundation of who he was in and out of the spotlight. Michael Kchner served as a soldier in the U.S. Army, an institution known for its strict discipline, physical demands, and unwavering focus on teamwork. Unlike other performers playing soldier-like roles, Kchner entered the ring as someone who had genuinely lived that life. What made the character of Corporal Kchner stand out wasn't his costume or slogans. It was the realness he brought to every performance. The Corporal Kchner gimmick in WWE wasn't just a gimmick, it was a direct reflection of Michael's real-life military experience. His rigid posture, firm walk, and unbreakable fighting spirit weren't scripted, they came naturally, shaped by his time in uniform. WWE used that authenticity to present Kchner as a symbol of patriotism, courage, and grit, a character fans could believe in and rally behind. Although his WWE career wasn't as lengthy as some of his peers, Corporal Kchner left a lasting impression. He proved that sometimes, you don't need flashy gimmicks to make an impact, just the truth. And Michael Kchner was that truth, a soldier-turned-wrestler, who traded bullets for body slams but never let go of the warrior spirit that defined him. Dayne. Before becoming known for his massive physique, hard-hitting style, and commanding presence in the ring, Dayne served in the United States Army. While the specifics of his role and duties in the military haven't been widely disclosed, one thing is clear. His time in the service helped shape the disciplined and determined individual fans recognize today. Enlisting early in life, Dayne was introduced to an environment that demanded structure, high-pressure endurance, and an unyielding fighting spirit. These traits didn't fade when he left the military. They only grew stronger as he transitioned into the world of professional wrestling. Thanks to that military foundation, Dayne consistently brings laser-sharp focus to every match, paired with a confident, composed demeanor that proves just as effective as it is intimidating. In the ring, Dayne is defined by his raw power, straightforward offense, and refusal to back down, qualities that unmistakably reflect a military background. He doesn't need to shout to make an impression, nor does he rely on gimmicks or theatrics. Dayne is a warrior in the truest sense, ready to fight with everything he's got, every time. Though not the loudest presence, Dayne stands tall as a symbol of a generation of superstars who carry the spirit of the soldier, strong, loyal, and unbreakable. Sergeant Craig Pittman. Monty Pitman, known in the wrestling world as Sergeant Craig Pittman, is one of the rare talents in the industry whose roots are grounded in real military service. Before stepping into the ring as a no-nonsense, commanding figure, Pittman served in the United States Marine Corps, where his iron will and strict discipline were forged. More than just a soldier, Pittman was also a standout athlete within the military, representing the Marine Corps in amateur wrestling competitions. His time in service not only taught him obedience and order, but also provided rigorous physical and technical training, skills that gave him a clear edge when he entered the professional wrestling scene. As Sergeant Craig Pittman, he brought with him the image of a model Marine, tough, stoic, and intensely focused. His in-ring style was grounded in grappling, holds, and submission-based control, all powered by his endurance and an unrelenting mindset, clearly shaped by his military background. With the Sergeant Pittman persona, Monty wasn't simply playing the role of a soldier, he was a soldier. What he displayed in the ring was a continuation of his time in uniform, delivering genuine warrior spirit to audiences across the wrestling world. Randy Orton. Before becoming one of the greatest superstars in WWE history, Randy Orton had a brief but turbulent stint in the military. Born into a legendary wrestling family spanning 3 generations, few would have expected Orton to choose the military path before eventually following in his father's footsteps. Right after graduating high school, Orton enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, a bold move for someone raised in the spotlight of professional wrestling. However, his time in the military was far from smooth. During his service, Orton was twice accused of going AWOL, absent without leave, and once refused a direct order from a superior. Serious offenses in any military setting. As a result, he was court-martialed, served 38 days in a military prison, and was discharged with a bad conduct record. It's clear that Orton didn't fit the mold of a model serviceman. His military experience remains a controversial footnote in his life and, at one point, even created obstacles for his wrestling career. Still, those early missteps became valuable lessons that helped shape a tougher, more determined Randy Orton, the man who would go on to become the Legend Killer and one of the most iconic faces of WWE for over 2 decades. Brian "Crush" Adams. Before becoming an essential member of legendary factions like Demolition and the Nation of Domination in the WWF, Brian Adams, known to fans as Crush, served in the United States Air Force. He joined in the early 1980s, a time that played a crucial role in forging his disciplined mindset and warrior-like persona. While specific details about his military role haven't been widely shared, it's evident that his time in the Air Force left a lasting impact. Military life demands seriousness, endurance, and mental toughness, qualities that would later be seen clearly in Crush's powerful and stoic presence inside the ring. After his discharge, Adams pursued professional wrestling, beginning his career in Hawaii and Japan. With his towering physique and raw strength, he quickly caught the attention of major promotions and was brought into the WWF. There, he became part of Demolition, one of the most dominant tag teams of the era. Later, he evolved his character further, joining the Nation of Domination and showcasing his versatility as a performer. Brian "Crush" Adams is a prime example of someone who transitioned from serving his country to becoming a sports entertainer, carrying the mindset and discipline of a serviceman into every match he fought. Kernadel. Kernadel wasn't just a familiar face in the wrestling rings of the 1980s. He was also one of the rare individuals who wore 2 types of uniforms, one in the squared circle and one in service to his country. Before rising to prominence as a standout tag team star, Kernadel served in the North Carolina National Guard, a vital component of the U.S. military. What made his journey unique was that his military service ran parallel to the early part of his wrestling career. That meant when he wasn't performing in front of thousands of fans, Kernadel was still undergoing training and remaining ready to respond whenever his country called. The discipline, endurance, and sense of responsibility instilled by the military directly contributed to his success inside the ring. Kernadel was best known for his partnership with Sergeant Slaughter, another wrestler with a military-themed persona. Together, they formed a formidable tag team known for their hard-hitting style, strategic approach, and unmistakable military flavor. What's interesting is that this wasn't just a gimmick. Kernadel's military-style presence came straight from his real-life experience in the National Guard. By blending genuine service experience with professional wrestling, Don Kernadel created a persona that stood out. He turned core military values, like honor and discipline, into trademarks of his in-ring identity, making them an inseparable part of his legacy. John Cena. In the world of professional wrestling, John Cena is known not only for his legendary career filled with championship titles, but also for his image as a patriotic hero, embodying discipline, honor, and a readiness to fight for what's right. From his wardrobe and demeanor in the ring to his public appearances, Cena has often reminded fans of a real-life soldier. Yet the truth is, John Cena has never served in the military. He's not a veteran, despite his appearance and actions convincing millions otherwise over the years. This misconception began in the mid-2000s, when Cena's WWE persona started to take on a military-inspired identity. Transitioning from a brash, chain-wearing rapper who spit provocative rhymes, Cena rebranded himself as a virtuous hero, a symbol of traditional American values like loyalty, respect, and resilience. His wardrobe evolved to match: camouflage shorts, military-style baseball caps, and frequent displays of patriotic imagery. His now iconic motto, "Hustle, Loyalty, Respect," was more than just a catchphrase. It reflected the spirit of a soldier who lives by discipline, honor, and camaraderie. Adding fuel to the fire, the release of the Marine in 2006 further blurred the lines between character and reality. In the film, Cena played a battle-hardened Marine returning from the Middle East, forced to defend his family from dangerous terrorists. His portrayal was intense, authentic, and emotional, leading many viewers to believe Cena wasn't just playing a soldier, but had actually lived that life. However, the truth is that Cena never underwent military training nor joined any branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. Born in 1977 and raised in West Newbury, Massachusetts, he grew up in a sports-oriented family. After graduating from high school, he attended Springfield College, where he played football. Later, he moved to California to pursue a career in bodybuilding before eventually finding his path in professional wrestling. Despite never wearing a real uniform, Cena has earned deep respect, especially from the military community. In fact, his lack of military service makes his dedication to veterans and active duty members all the more admirable. He didn't have to go to war to understand the value of sacrifice. He's chosen to honor it through meaningful, long-term action. John Cena is one of the most active public figures in supporting the U.S. military. He's worked with Hire Heroes USA, an organization that helps veterans transition back into civilian life and find stable employment. Cena not only lent his name to campaigns but also personally took part in career workshops, offering guidance and encouragement to those seeking a fresh start. These weren't publicity stunts, they were genuine commitments that he's maintained for years. He's also been a leading presence in WWE's Tribute to the Troops, an annual event honoring American service members both at home and abroad. Cena didn't just perform at these events. He connected with soldiers, talked with them, and offered heartfelt support. To him, it wasn't a role to play, it was a responsibility that came with his platform. He's always believed that while not everyone can serve in uniform, everyone can show appreciation for those who do. One of Cena's most remarkable achievements is his record-breaking involvement with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He holds the Guinness World Record for granting over 650 wishes, the most in history. Many of these children came from military families or had relatives who served. Cena didn't just show up for a photo. He gave his time, attention, and genuine care to each child. To them, Cena isn't just a WWE superstar. He's a real-life hero, someone who showed up when they needed it most. Though he's never stepped onto a battlefield, Cena embodies the core values of a soldier: courage, loyalty, and unwavering conviction. In the ring, he's a fearless warrior. Outside of it, he's a man of action and purpose. And to millions, especially veterans and their families, Cena represents the American spirit: strong, humble, and relentlessly dedicated. Perhaps the most admirable thing about John Cena is his honesty. He's never claimed to be a veteran or tried to use a military image to boost his fame. On the contrary, he's always been clear about never serving, while expressing deep respect for those who have. It's that transparency and integrity that have earned him lasting admiration from fans and service members alike. John Cena is living proof that you don't need to be a soldier to live like one. Through everything he's done, from the WWE ring to his tireless social impact, Cena has shown that patriotism isn't measured by carrying a weapon, but by showing gratitude, making sacrifices, and taking real action every day. He may not be a veteran, but to millions, John Cena will always be a true warrior, in heart and in deed. Thank you for joining us on the inspiring journey of WWE warriors who came from the military. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next powerful stories from Wrestling Sphere.